Man! Wow, man!
Probably asking yourself, hey there, Tom, what are you doing with your truck and your dolly there? I'm going to get breakfast. That's what I'm doing. So to make a short story shorter, I bought another car sight unseen. If you want to know how much I paid for it, then obviously you didn't watch the last episode. What I said I paid for it, plus $5 for storage, because I haven't picked it up yet. I don't think it's a bad purchase, but it's always a gamble with a sight unseen. It looks really clean. Which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It has some damages, not bad, but we're going to pick it up right now. That's why we have the truck and the dolly. This is a forced induction car. It is a manual, and I have never driven one. And I'm a little bit excited inside. The little kid in me is like, ooh, because I always wanted to. Nothing spectacular. I brought the drone, and I'm not even going to ask them if I can fly it. We're just going to do it. Because I'm a pilot. I made it here. Car's already paid for. All I gotta do is go in, get the title, sign some papers, and she's mine. Let's go get her.
Daddy didn't raise no fool, wouldn't let her date a boy till he taught her how to shoot. And Daddy didn't play no games, wouldn't let her trade her name for a fake I do. Boy, you better know what you're getting into. This ain't no shotgun wedding that you're used to. The target is you. If you leave her standing all alone at the altar, Daddy's daughter got a Smith and Wesson pistol that her daddy bought her hidden in a gutter, and she ain't afraid to use it. It's up to you. Are you gonna be blood, just blood in the water? Because she can't help but knowing what her daddy taught her. She's her daddy's daughter. Before you hear the church bells ring, oh, you better.
I don't even know if this thing will start, but I don't know. It may have, I don't know if a 76 millimeter is a stock pulley. Those aren't stock bolts in it. This may be tuned. And it has power. I need to put the seat up. This will be tall in here. It's fairly clean inside. I figured it was gonna run like crap. Got a broken wire right here. A couple broken wires right here. Actually don't sound too bad now. runs and she doesn't knock. That's a plus. Let's go shut her off. Sounds as if it might be straight piped. That's no good for me. Alright, so this is a 2006 Chevy Cobalt SS. It is the supercharged version. If you are able to get your hands on the turbocharged version, which they only made for like a year or two, they were rated really good. These ones, not so much. 200, a little over 200 horsepower, nothing crazy. Tuned with a smaller pulley, a couple things done to it. They can actually put down some decent power. I think this one is tuned. I think this one has a smaller pulley. I think it has a full exhaust system, which I looked underneath. It does have a full exhaust system. It has an intake. The mass airflow sensor, the wires are damaged on it, and that is the main reason why this thing's not running right now. I don't know if the mass airflow sensor on this one is the same as the regular Cobalts. I'm gonna have to look it up. If so, we'll be going to Johnny's to get that, because I do not have that. I don't think I do. I might possibly. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look. I know I sold the airbox to a friend of mine, but I don't know if it has the same thing or not. We do have a lot of parts. There's a trim piece and a dash missing. I have that. Fender's damaged. I have that. I ordered headlights already. Ordered a bumper already. I did not know that the radiator and the condenser were bent. I would have just left them that way because they're just bent, but the radiator is actually leaking. So we need a radiator. If we're going to do that, we're going to put a condenser in it as well. I don't know if they are the same as the regular Cobalt models. We'll find out whenever we get into pricing and stuff like that. The side skirt was almost ripped completely off. Some of the clips were still there. It's when it got hit in the front, it bent the lower control arm and pushed the tire back, and it pushed the side skirt back and ripped all the clips off, most of them. Some of them are still there. Most all the mounts are still good, so the side skirt is still usable. I took the clips, I clipped it back in. There's still 2 bolts holding it because it was dangling, and I didn't want that thing falling off on the way home because side skirts aren't cheap. But let's get this thing home so we can go more over it. It's actually really nice. Unfortunately, I didn't see it in the pictures, but the seat does have a tear on the butt area, but there's nothing I'm going to do about it. The rest of it is in really good condition, so we're just going to leave it there. Also, I should add, I did not get video of him loading it on because he brought it out, dropped it, and then he picked it back up and went back inside, and I followed him with the drone. I was like, I seen him messing with it, and I'm like, what is he doing to my car? And he brought it back out, and the passenger rear tire was flat, and he didn't notice it when he picked it up, so he took it back, filled it with air, and brought it back out. That is service, if I do say so myself, and it's holding air, so that's great. I mean, most loaders would not do that. They would just load you up and walk away. So I thanked him. I couldn't thank him enough. But I do have a tire pump in here, but it would have took me forever. So great service here. After a little research, it turns out that pulley is a stage 3 pulley that is on it, and it might actually be a factory like GM ZZP parts, because I think the exhaust was. I looked underneath. That thing is loud. Hopefully, there's a good side and a downside. The good side to that is this thing could actually put 250 horsepower to the wheels, which is really good numbers for a car like that. Bad thing is, I don't know if it's tuned. I don't know if if it has the full stage 3 kit. That also means that it has upgraded radiator and a bunch of other parts, and I don't know if it has those, and if it does, to replace them, it's going to be pricey. But I'm going to see. Hopefully there's information in the car from the previous owner, somebody I can get a hold of. Before I unload this thing, I was checking this wiring out on this mass airflow sensor, and like I said, one wire's broke. The other one looks like it's pinched right there. Well, the wiring harness off of that one I tore down, which I kept for some odd reason, whatever, is the same exact plug. So since there's not enough wire there to splice in, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to bring this back, use my shrink connectors with the solder, and do that before I try unloading this thing. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I confirmed that this has the full Stage 3 kit on it. The intercooler that is under the supercharger, there are supposed to be only 2 ports into the intercooler for the coolant, one in and one out. The dual pass-through intercooler has 1 in and 2 out. That's what this has. So this has a full Stage 3 kit on it. Oh. So yeah. Alright, so I started it up and it still ran like crap. Now I come out here and I figured it out. Look up in there, the mount. There's a big hole. So it's sucking air in through here that's unmetered. Let me go get some duct tape. So this intake is shot. Yeah, let's duct tape that up and see how it runs then. Well, the throttle response is better, but it still ain't running right, so probably needs a set of plugs. But let's get her over here. We'll get her washed up. I found a sign with people's names on it for like graduation. McDonald's that I did not want to find in the back of a car. But guessing this is the car that it wrecked into, because this is not off of this car. Right here's the rest of the bumper. Kind of cleaned up. The trunk was kind of filthy. I have a mat over there that'll fit in the back, thankfully. So I have that. There's a dent right there I didn't notice. That's not that bad. Chevy floor mats, these are actually decent mats. This trim was actually in there, and I was going to steal the piece that I had, but that just needs cleaned up. But it looks like it's in decent shape. I'm getting a misfire, and it's not telling me which cylinder. Besides that, the temperature sensor got ripped off, which I found the person's information in there for a passport, so I did find their information. I don't know if I'm going to call them yet, but I'm going to keep that. Right there is the plug for the temperature sensor. So that's going to go up in the front here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it's at. It's normally up by the front, like around the bumper area, grill area, whatever. I was hoping the fog light was in there, but the fog light was not in there. So I'll have to get another fog light, intake. It needs some work. It does. And I can't turn very sharp because of that control arm being bent underneath. But this thing has drilled and slotted rotors. Nice wheels. I really like these wheels. They're a little scuffed up, but they're really not that bad. I can live with those. Once I get this thing cleaned up, I think it's going to look really, really good. So, current PA inspection. That's a good sign. Another good thing here, all the damage was to the right of the, well, it would be the left if you're driving it, to the frame rail. So right here's the bumper support. As you can see, undamaged. Frame rail, undamaged. And this is stuff I couldn't see in the picture, so I was just hoping that it wasn't damaged, and thankful that it's not. And also, I didn't notice all those other goodies, and I also didn't notice that this hood has rust starting on the front of it. That's nice. So we are going to just jump straight into this. I did notice this fender rubs the door at the very bottom, so we'll have to make adjustments on that fender. Got knocked out of place in the accident. Everything looks okay over here. There is a new control arm on this side, like a brand new one. So I don't know if both sides got damaged, but whatever. There's a new brake caliper on the back over here. I don't know what all parts are on this. Till we get it up on the lift and inspect it, we won't know. But first thing I do want to do is I want to see if I can fix this misfire. I definitely need an ambient air temperature sensor. I need this control arm. We will get it at Johnny's, not today, but we're going to get it at Johnny's. I want to get to the bottom of this misfire, so what I want to do is I want to check the spark plugs and see what's going on there. I know we don't have any coolant in this because of the radiator leaking. This thing has 3 coolers in the front, and I don't know, honestly, I don't know what they're all for. I'm thinking one of them is for the coolant going to the intercooler, and one of them is for the coolant to the engine. I could be wrong. I know one of them is a condenser. All of that is bent. Back bumper has some marks on it, and it must have been a previous accident because some of it was touch up, some of it's not. So I have the headlight bucket for this. Right here, I have a fender for this, which I need to get out of the way at the moment. Don't know if we're going to use that or not, because fenders for these are fairly cheap. I could just get a black one and then not have to worry about painting that. This is just black, so I'm sure there's plenty of those in the yard. Headlights are coming, bumpers coming. I am going to have to paint the bumper. The less I can paint, the better. So that would be great. I took the coil cover off, and these have these like disconnect plugs on them like this, and then you pull them out. Well, when you do that, you're gonna, disconnect it. So I'm gonna start this thing up and figure out which one of these is misfiring by unplugging them one at a time. If it gets worse, that's not it. If it stays the same, then we'll know which one's misfiring. I don't want to run this thing too long because it's gonna smoke the garage up. Alright, so that was simple enough. It's this far one. I mean, we're going to check all the plugs, but I want to pull that one first and see what it looks like. Another thing, I believe with the stage 3 kit, if I was reading right, it was BKR 7s are what they used, and that's a BKR 7. A little fouled, but it doesn't look horrible. It's got a huge gap. So I'm gonna pull the next one and see what it looks like. That one doesn't look much better, except for the fact that it's dry. Still a large gap. I need to see what the gap's supposed to be on these. They're not horrible. They can be re-gapped, which is what we might do. So it's a pretty good sign. The only real difference between these plugs and the one that was missing is you can see how it's shiny. Let me see. You see how it's shiny, this one, compared to the other ones? This one is the one that was not firing. I'm going to clean these up. I'm going to re-gap them. Then we're going to check the coils. We might have to put a coil on this. So as I thought, they were about twice the gap they were supposed to be. You see them now. They're all 0.35 thousandths. So we're going to throw these back in. I'm going to put the same coils in the same place as the start, and then we'll work on it from there. See if that made a difference. Probably not. That was it. Spark plugs weren't gapped right. That's crazy. Got a product review company. Do all of these companies go to the same place to get their cases made? Now, I'm not. These are actually really nice cases that they come in, but they're all identical. They're all the same. Guarantee it'll jump a car. We're gonna do a review on it. Not real in depth, but we'll do a review on it. It has a compass in case you lose your way. Don't ask me how I move stuff so quick. The Malibu just left. It's gone. And a whole family just showed up. Of boxes. Presents! I won't get closer because you don't need to see the addresses on these. So let's open them up. Got the driver's side fender for the Z, so we can replace this one. And I know this one doesn't look that bad, but it's really bent up here. It sticks out up here, it sticks in down here, and it would have been a good bit of body work, and that's going to save me a lot of time on this thing. So, got another new fender. And these newer fenders that I got, they feel like they're thicker than the original ones that are on it. And I just noticed this thing is bent. Well, it's savable. I can live with this. This just goes like that. I know from the old fender. So there we go. I fixed it. It's only got a spot weld on it. I can put another spot weld on there to hold it. Those are the front inner fenders for this because they're gone. So we have those. And then this is the warped front bumper for that. And I just realized this isn't even the SS bumper. Now it's starting to form. If you didn't notice, it's starting to move. This isn't the SS bumper. This is a G5 bumper. The only difference being the SS one has slots across the bottom to fit a ground effects piece on. And we're going with something a little bit different. So this one doesn't have those slots in it. So this will actually look better. I was going to order the original one, but that ground effects piece was more than this whole bumper was. I think it was like $350 just for that bottom valance on there. So this one's the same minus that. I think it's the same. Yes. This bumper is the same minus the slots to fit the ground effects on. Now if you look at this, I got the heat on it. You can watch the bumper actually see it. It's actually moving because it's going back to shape. You can use a heat gun, or you can set them out in the sun, or you can do what I'm doing and just point a heater at it and let the heat shape it back to shape. This thing's it's actually really looks like it's taking shape really well. That's great. I have new headlights coming too, but they haven't made it here yet. Oh, you can see in this mold where the ground effects pieces went. If you got the actual SS bumper, you see these slots here. Those are actually cut out on the SS bumper. That's what's different on this.
like a glove.
Alright kids, so another product came. This is a jumper pack, and this is a jumper pack. So we're gonna have the freaking Chinese jumper pack fight off here.
Fight.
Not in this video, but I'm gonna do a review of it. This is a jumper pack. I also have a Chinese battery tester, and I'm gonna see if I can test to see what the capacity is on these, because the tester does that. But we're gonna test this. This one has wireless charging, and it has a compass in case you lose your way. This one is a jumper pack plus this is a tire pump. And the packaging on this one, plus the fact that the English is very good on everything on it. You know, normally when you get these things, the English is horrible. But I like this thing because, like, now I don't have to have a cigarette lighter to plug it in. I can pump tires up with this. So we'll see how this thing works too. I was just showing my buddy the SS, and I was driving it for him. The supercharger winding, like sitting in it, I couldn't hear it, but outside of it, yeah, you can hear it. But the garage is still smoked up because of it not running on all cylinders and being loaded up. The exhaust is full of fuel, so now it smells rich in here. It's also very hazy, but we got the thing running great. That's awesome. Now we just need to change fluids and get the control arm fixed. And that's the thing. I was going to go to Johnny's in the next episode and get the control arm so I can at least move this thing and like drive it and stuff. But unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, but this is awesome. The same guy that bought the fender for the Z, Giacomo, that's how you say it. I said it wrong last time, and I'm sorry. He's one of my Patreon subscribers. He wanted to buy a couple more things. I told him, I said, you really don't have to, and he did anyway. So he bought the radiator, the condenser, and the control arm for this. So I'm going to wait for those new parts to come. But I'm going to Johnny's in the next episode to see if I can get a black fender. And we're also going to get an inner fender since it's ripped. And I have everything else, but I need the wiring harness for the headlight because it is all messed up from the accident. And I don't think I still have those harnesses. I stand corrected. Right here is the headlight harness. So I guess I don't need it now. I don't know which one this is. Oh, this is the full headlight harness. I got one. Okay, we're good. Oh, and I forgot the video. More boxes came after that last box opening fiasco. And it was my new headlights for this. So I got both of them because I didn't want to have a foggy one. And they're a little bit different. They're all clear with the amber on the side there. Those will look awesome with the new bumper. This is awesome. All parts are coming. Everything's coming together. We're going to Johnny's. What else could you ask for? So if you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Consider subscribing. Hit the bell so you get notifications. Hit that dislike button if your car is the super slow version. And we'll see you on the next episode of
Unwrapped.
Yay! On the bed on my phone. Oh, we're both here now. Ashley drops Dewey off, and I'm laying across here this way. And he comes up and just kind of moseys over towards me, and he headbutt me in the eye. Hard as crap, because he wanted to tell me that he loved me. Didn't you? I understand you like me, but you don't have to headbutt me in the eye. And she said, Daddy, you can pet me, Daddy. Here, but come on, here. I'll pet myself. Here. She just loves me, don't you?